Good morning, class. This is the online class of class 8, and I'm Miss Nima, and I'll be teaching you today how the camel got his hump. This is from the book It So Happened, okay? From the NCRT book. So let's start. The world was just begun, and the animals were working for humans. There was one lazy animal that did nothing and said nothing but hump. Even the clever Jinn was at his wits' end. So, what happened when the world was just made, okay, and animals were working for humans? Okay, there was one lazy animal, okay, and who only called hump, okay, and who only spoke hump. Even the Jinn was also tired of his laziness. In the beginning, when the world was new and the animals were just beginning to work for man, there was a camel and he lived in the middle of the howling desert. So, where did he live? He lived in a desert and he was very lazy. And the camel was lazy, okay? And he did not work and he ate all day, okay? The thorns and prickles, and when anybody spoke to him he said hump. So when any animal spoke to the camel, he just said hump. And what happened? Presently the horse came to him on Monday morning with a saddle on his back. And as you know, the horse have always a saddle on their back, okay? As many of you have done a horse riding in many hill stations. If you have not done, you can see, look at in the pictures, you can google it, or you can see in the TV, okay? So what happened? The horse came on Monday morning, okay? And he said, camel, oh camel, come out and trot like rest of us. So the camels trot, okay, and the horse is telling to the camel, come out and trot, okay, walk like us. The camel said hump, and the horse just went away, okay? And what happened is that first the horse came and the horse said trot like us, but camel replied hump. Now presently the dog came to him with a stick in his mouth and said, camel, oh camel, come and fetch and carry like the rest of us. So see, you can see in the picture there is a dog, okay, with a stick, and he also came and he told to take fetch and carry like rest of us, okay, to work like rest of the animals. But the camel replied hump, and also the dog went away. As you can see here, the meaning is given of jinn. Jinn is what is it spelled as genie or gene, okay? A spirit that has strange power and assume any forms of human and animals. So as you know, in Aladdin there is a blue color jinn, okay? And in the story also there is a jinn. So what happened? The camel said hump and the dog went away. Now the ox came. As you can see in the picture, the ox came, okay, and he said, come so what happened? Presently the ox came to him with a yoke on his neck and said, camel, oh camel, come and plow like the rest of us. So as you know, in the ox can all ox also plows the field, okay? And what happened is that in village, in previous times when there was no tractors, the ox used to help human beings with plowing of the field. So the ox is telling that, I'm just giving an example, okay? So the about the about the village life, how the ox used to plow. And in this story also, the ox is telling to the camel, come and plow with me. And what happened? The camel is replying hump, and the cow now went away. At the end of the day, the man called the horse and the dog uh, and the ox together and said, 303, I am sorry for you, but the hump thing in the desert cannot work, or he would have been here by now. So I am going to leave him alone, and you must work double time to make up for it. So man came and called the three animals, horse, ox and dog, and told them to work double, okay? And see here in the picture, and he said that the camel doesn't work, so instead of camel you have to work more. he, he said to that three animals, and that three animals got very upset. and angry. So they formed a panchayat at the edge of the desert, and the camel came chewing and laughing and laughed at them, and he said hump, and then again went away. So what happened is that now now there came along Jinn, who was in charge of all the desert, rolling in a cloud of dust. So the animals in charge was Jinn, okay, and just Jinn, as I told you here, is a spirit that has strange power and assumes any form of human or animal. Okay, so what happened is that so now came Jinn. See in the here, the Jinn came, and what happened is that, and so what happened is that Jinn of all deserts, said the horse, it was right for anyone to be idle. Idle means to sit like that, not doing any work. Okay, so the horse is asking, it is all right to sit like that, lazy, not working? And then Jinn is saying, no, not at all, certainly not. Then the horse is telling, there is a thing in the middle of a desert with a long neck and long leg, and he hasn't done a stroke of work since Monday morning. He won't trot. So the horse is complaining about camel, that there is a long neck and a long leg animal, and he's not working from since Monday. Phew, said the Jinn, listening. That's my camel. What does he say about? He always says hump, he won't plow, said the ox. The ox is also saying, he always replies with a hump, and he does not even work and plow. And Jinn is saying, very good, I will hump him if you will kindly wait a minute. So he is telling that he will hump, okay. Then the Jinn is saying that I will make a hump of him, okay, if you will say again. So what happened is that, so here part 2, see here, the Jinn rolled himself up in the dust cloak and took a wall across the desert and found a camel looking at his own reflection in a pool of water. So as you can see, it is drinking water, okay, and drinking water, okay, and then the Jinn appears, okay. So the Jinn is telling that, my friend, I hear that you are not working here, okay. The Jinn is saying to the camel, okay. The Jinn sat down with his chin in his hand, while the camel looked on his own reflection pool of water. So the Jinn is with his hand on his chin, as you can see in the picture, is looking at the camel. So he is also saying that you have given extra 3 work since Monday, but you are not working and you are sitting idle. The Jinn is saying, okay, like that. And what happened is that, and the Jinn is thinking, okay, now what kind of punishment should I give to this camel? And the camel again replied with a hump. I shouldn't say that again. If I were you, said Jinn, you might said it often, once too often. I want you to work. So the camel often said hump, and the Jinn is warning that you shouldn't say that often, okay. But the camel again said hump, okay. And what happened is that, and he was proud of puffing and puffing up in the great big hump. So he was what happened is that, and the camel said hump again, but no sooner he said it that he saw his back, and he was so proud of puffing up and puffing up again. So what happened, the camel was very much proud of his back. It was a kind of a, see here, it was a puffed up back, okay. Now do you see that, said the Jinn, that's your own hump that you have brought up upon your very own self, but own self by not working. So the Jinn punished him with a real hump, okay. He has given a hump, and the Jinn told that you have got a punishment. This punishment you did it yourself by not working. So from Monday, the camel was given the work, but he did not work at all till Thursday, okay, and so he was punished. How can I, said the camel, with this hump on my back? That has a purpose, said Jinn. All because you missed those 3 days, you will be able to work now for 3 days without eating, because you can live on your hump. So as you know, camel store food in the hump. Okay, so the jinn has given him hump because so that he can store food and he never feel hungry for 3 days, and he can cope up with that 3 days with a he had worked with 3 days. Uh, so he had now the jinn had punished with him a hump, and the hump does the work of not letting the camel feel hungry. Now the camel don't feel hungry for 3 days because that hump that jinn has given will store his food there. Okay, and he which 3 days he did not work, so he will compensate with that 3 days by working that 3 days. Okay, and what happened is that, so he is telling that now behave properly and work that 3 days. The jinn is telling like that. Okay, and the camel went out and joined the three of them. Okay, with that hump. Now he is feeling hurt. Okay, that because now he has got a big hump. Okay, as you have seen in the camel's hump, how is it? You can see it in the picture. See here in the picture, it's given a hump, no? So what happened is that now the camel feel hurts and joins other three: the dog, the ox, and the horse. Okay, and he missed at the beginning of the world, and what happened is he never yet caught up the 3 days. So the 3 days he did not compensate it. Okay, the 3 days, as he has never yet learned how to behave. So till here, till to this day, okay, the camel did not learn how to behave or how to work. Okay, this is written by Rudyard Kipling, and in the next class I'll be giving you this question answers. So till then your homework is to go through the chapter, to read it. Okay, read again and again, and try to solve the answer of this. Try to solve the answer of this one, page 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And next class I will give the I will be giving this one, comprehension check, and your homework is of page 3, that question answer.